Guys, it's been a while since I did a video response to one of these shitty, like, Thoody videos, so I guess we're doing this. Keep in mind, this is 5 months after he produced the video, so I don't want to hear, "You're fucking me." No, it was like almost half a year after this video was produced. So I don't want to hear, "You're fucking me," because this is literally me being so I'm so late to this fucking party that everyone that's in the party has moved fucking house at this point. So I don't want to hear, "You're fucking me." Alright, let's get this comatose koala out of the way.
I've noticed over the years of being on the internet
The fact that the number of chins you have grows by the fucking day.
is that if you ignore someone for long enough, they eventually fuck off.
Yeah, but the fact is, when people try to approach your butt buddy codebreaker the same way, he just intensifies the harassment, so it's not entirely true. And you're not really ignoring people, it's just that people gave you so much clapback over your dumb horse shit that you basically tucked your tail and hid away for a while. That's not the same thing as people harassing you and then you shooing them away like a raccoon off someone's front porch. That's not what's happening here. That is not what happened, period. It was basically you and the voices in your head telling you that you've won an argument or a fight that didn't even exist because you needed to feel like you won a conflict that you instigated and tried to perpetuate constantly.
But there is one particular sheep shagger kiwi monkey.
You look like the kind of guy that would fuck a sheep, so don't even get everyone started about that, you godforsaken waste of genetic defect. Seriously, you look like Buffalo Bill if you lived in Australia. Settle your sorry grease stain ass down. Seriously. You look like what would happen if someone's grandma got smashed in the fucking head with a sledgehammer. Like, do not insult anyone on their nationality or appearance when you are the kind of person that everyone in Australia would look at as a walking stereotype for the typical dumbass trailer trash rock spider bogan Australian. You are the stereotype for a dumbass Australian. You're the kind of guy that if people met you and saw the dumb shit you do, they might immediately develop an immediate hatred of Australia because you're gonna be the dipshit that comes off like a babbling halfwit trying to talk down to everyone in the room when you have a job that a fucking monkey could do. You bake bread for a living, cocksucker. You have a job that a monkey could do and a monkey could do it better. Seriously. You make bread for a living. Your job is so physically undemanding that imagine that within the next 5 years you're going to be going into your job with one of those goddamn mobility scooters. Don't even get me fucking started on talking shit about others when you look the way you fucking do. And before I say, well, yeah, I nod with fucked teeth. I can get dental surgery and get that fixed. My eyes are kind of fucked. That's why I have corrective lenses. But I can get in shape. I can keep busting my ass at the gym and working out and eating healthier. You're always going to be a piece of shit with a fucked up personality and a broken fucking brain who has this unhealthy narcissism about you over a video game no one gives two shits about. You're always going to be that way.
Looking at Peter Siddle wannabe who eats so many fucking bananas he needs.
Don't explain why you use a box to help pack your belongings in when you move and for some reason you gotta hitch onto that shit as though it's a relevant factor. Dude, if you have to move house, and for whatever reason, if you had like a box that was used to contain fucking poise pads or whatever, does that mean I should accuse you of being someone who has a menstrual cycle when you use those boxes that are containing pads to move some of your smaller belongings? You realize that not everyone wants to spend $200 to $300 on moving boxes if they could just use what's available at the fucking grocery store that people give away for free. I should know. My family's had to do this very same shit when they move house. Now, like you know that, you've most likely never had to relocate for any reason at all because you can barely move your sorry ass from one end of the room to the other without panting.
managed to steal them from his workplace, put them in his room.
It's not really stealing if these boxes are usually given away because people are trying to make room and they don't want to keep that stuff. It's easier for them to give it away to people who can actually reuse it than it is to pay money to have the cardboard disposed of. Like, do you think that stores might not just give it away to people who can reuse it because it might be a more cost effective way to deal with the cardboard instead of paying possibly hundreds of dollars a month to have them disposed of? How do you not understand the logistics of this? You're 20 fucking 6 and you don't understand that. Do you actually have a job? Do you have any real adult responsibilities?
Stack them up so his monkey looking ass can just grab a banana whenever he feels like it.
People would rather look like monkeys than look like fucking Cunty the fucking Hut right here on my godforsaken screen.
Yes, I am talking about Damien Skyfire.
I'm so glad you're telling us all this because apparently you assume your subscriber base is so fucking brain dead that they can't follow 15 seconds worth of information at a time. But then again, your audience does seem like the dipshits who play with fidget spinners and play Fortnite for hours and hours a day, so I wouldn't be too surprised if your audience had that little of an attention span. More importantly, how's your voice not putting them to fucking sleep? Seriously. Like, I had surgery on Thursday. I woke up after they gave me fentanyl and parthenol, which were basically like heavy duty painkillers that they give you post operation to help you relax while you're starting to heal after you get out of the operating room. And somehow, your voice is putting me to sleep more than the fucking painkillers did. I have to admit though, it's weird when you go under anesthesia and wake back up because it's like a few hour period of life that you have like no memory of. It's like sleeping except you don't dream.
Real name Damien Tate. Now,
Real name Sucker Cock.
this sheepshagger is a raging.
You keep saying that every 5 seconds, you brain dead fucking caterpillar. Seriously, you look like a graboid without that fucking exoskeletal beak on the front.
Stood sexual.
Dude, elementary school logic doesn't work here. People disliking you for being an awful, annoying little cunt is not the same thing as people liking you but not having the fortitude to just admit it. For example, I dislike you because you're a genuinely shit person who gets off on being an annoying little cunt to everyone, who is a pack of degenerate dipshit inbred retards who go around doing awful shit in his name, constantly trying to stalk and harass people, bringing up personal details of their lives in an attempt to make them feel shitty about themselves. Meanwhile, the person in question is a brain-dead fucking loser with no life, no job, no relationships, and no career prospects to speak of. Yet they are trying to make other people feel like shit when their own lives are so fucking meaningless that they could die tomorrow and it'd be about as meaningful as watching a flea drop dead on a carpet.
I mean, he claims I'm a damosexual, even though I haven't spoken to him or about him in almost a year, but this bloke is literally the most delusional person on all of social media.
Have you seen yourself in a mirror, you paralytic pelican? Seriously, you're the most delusional person I've ran across aside from you-know-who and Niece. And the reason I call you delusional is because you constantly try to act like everyone that has something to say against you is because of obsession. No, people have shit to say against you because you're an annoying twat. And because you will not rein in the shitty people that you're responsible for fostering in your little brain-dead community of nitwits. Now, obviously, I don't believe that you're responsible for every single one of them. I don't think that you're responsible for all of their actions. But I do believe that you bear some responsibility when you go out of your way to bitch and cry about people and act like you're being persecuted when you know full well a lot of your subscribers are brain dead fucking nitwits who will attack these people out of retaliation for their idols' feelings getting hurt.
So basically, last year, well, right at the end of last year, New Year's Eve, I posted a video called The Top 10 Biggest Dicks on YouTube.
I'd rather be a big dick on YouTube than be a whiny pussy who acts like every little bullshit thing that he makes happen to himself is the fault of everyone else fucking around him.
2024. Now,
Sometimes you can even count that high, to be honest. But then again, you need to be able to count that high if you're going to bake some bread. After all, half a dozen eggs isn't gonna crack themselves.
Anyone with half a brain knows that
Okay, so I assume you're not counting yourself in that mix, because you to even have half a brain would be incredibly generous if we are to look at your ability to use cognitive reasoning skills.
the top 10 biggest dicks refers to people who are just real shit people.
Dude, you have no right to call anyone a shit person when you literally threatened to murder a teenager over a DMCA strike. Like, there's a lot of shitty things that I've said to people who I've been genuinely pissed off with for valid reasons. And even then, death threats were not uttered when I was angry at these people. I simply said that what they did was fucked up and inexcusable, and that I hoped that they walk in front of a car. But I didn't threaten them directly, nor did I imply that I was going to have any sort of connection to that car hitting them. I just simply said I wouldn't shed a tear if they suddenly developed an inoperable tumor at the base of their spine, much like yourself. But the fact is, you threatened someone for real over a DMCA. You didn't just counterclaim it and have it be over with. You literally threatened to murder someone over nothing. You've lost I don't know how many damn accounts because you're a toxic little shit that looks for negative attention and then whines about it when you get in trouble. Keep in mind, I got in trouble for calling people names. And the people I was calling names were legitimately fucking horrible pedophiles and people like that. That I was getting I was getting in trouble for insulting those motherfuckers. Meanwhile, you're pissing and moaning because people make fun of you for being an idiot, looking for negative attention all the goddamn time. What are people supposed to fucking think of you? Are they supposed to look at you and think, yes, Jacob, yes, I'm the bad person and not you? No, you're a shithead fail troll at almost 30 years of age. You've done nothing with your life except be an antagonistic little fuckwit to everyone around you. And for some reason you're trying to blame people around you for it when you are the one doing it. Remind me again why the fuck it is that you have a support button and a monetization when you openly harass people for no reason. Now, even if you're not doing it currently, you have a long and sordid history of doing this for years. This isn't like one shitty action that's like brought up every time someone has something to say against you, as is with me. You have like a long list of really shitty fucking actions towards people who most likely didn't deserve it and some that clearly didn't deserve it at all. And then you're trying to act like everyone else is the asshole because they point out this behavior. Or that someone, Damien in this situation, is somehow worse off than you are in terms of their behavior because they need to be for you to feel like you didn't just waste a good chunk of your 20s acting like a dipshit for attention.
Like when you call someone a dick, you're calling them, a feral, asshole, a shit person in general. But
Again, you should look in the mirror before you start hurling the words shit person. Because you look like someone literally just had like a seriously bad case of diarrhea. And they just drooped it all over your scalp.
unfortunately, Damien Skyfire does not get the memo. He thinks the word dick means an actual dick every single time. So
Well, it's because people treat you like a dick every single time. Because you behave like a dick every single time.
he has to make everything sexual.
You mean like that stupid ass Studios the Mess music video where you make a whole bunch of really dumb allusions to getting laid when nobody would touch you with a 50-foot pole unless they were pushing you off the edge of a cliff?
He is the only one who thought of that video in a sexual way.
Again, him making fun of you and being overly sarcastic for the purpose of satirizing your reaction is not the same thing as actually claiming you're sexually attracted to him. This is what's so disingenuous about you is that you do the dumb shit that Niece does where you pretend to misunderstand it and try to act like everyone else is behaving irrationally when you're the one that's misinterpreting things on purpose. Seriously, stop doing that. You're not tricking anyone except dumb little kids.
Damien likes to accuse me of being gay all the time.
Again, he made a joke about the fact that whenever someone leaves you alone for a prolonged period of time, you start sending your little sycophants to go hump their legs, metaphorically, to lose their shit and scream at them. Another thing, you don't have any right to bitch about borderline, like, homophobia or shit like that when you literally attack Steve and Zach for several months because they are gay, and your little dipshit lapdog was openly trying to gaslight Steve and Zach into thinking that their relationship was dangerous to them because of how passionate Zach gets and rants. I'm not saying you're responsible for his behavior, but I'm saying if someone was doing that and I was a friend of theirs or someone they associate with, I would have told them to curb that shit. Even if you're not responsible for it, you do bear some level of accountability when you're the one that more or less creates this narrative that the people you don't like are just a bunch of assholes who deserve shit treatment. Because you're more or less allowing this behavior to run rampant if you don't say anything. It's like my videos towards Kelly. I told people, don't harass Kelly. Don't bother Kelly. And I made it very clear. Unlike you, where it's like, oh, do whatever, I don't care, until it reflects negatively on you, and then you start saying, well, I didn't say that. Yeah, you did. You said do whatever. It's on film.
Now, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but the fact
There's
is,
nothing wrong with being gay. That's why half the things you said about people in the past were just overly homophobic slurs.
I'm not gay. But for some reason,
That haircut had me fooled.
Damien is on some sort of agenda to try
make fun of you and laugh at you.
and make out that I am gay. Damien,
No, he's just making fun of the fact that you act like someone that's unhealthily obsessed with a stranger trying to get back at them over shit that's like over 3 or 4 years old at this point.
and you're the only one talking about dicks, as in actual dicks, when it comes to my top 10 biggest dicks video. Because you thought of that video in that way, I think you're the gay one, mate.
No, you. No, you. Again, making a joke at your expense and satirizing it is not the same thing as someone openly kind of having like a closet admission. Settle down, please. Again, we're basically just doing the elementary school. I know you are, but what am I, infinity?
The fact that you continue to obsess over me, even though I moved on from you almost
You didn't really move on. You just got your ass whooped and then started crying to your fans, and then your fans started harassing the people that you were mad at. Again, people mentioning you in passing because your dipshit little lap dogs are harassing them is not the same thing as them throwing stones at you directly. The only reason you come up is because you are more or less the figurehead of these little fucking retards. They basically worship you like a bubblegum idol.
a year ago, I think you might be gay for me. I just want you to know, Damien, that I'm not gay, so back the fuck off.
This video makes me want to stick 9-inch nails to each one of my eyelids.
I only bang chicks, and I'm not interested in you in
Because this looks like the face of someone who's just going to the bar and picking up a new woman every night.
that sort of way. I never have been, never will be. The fact is, I'm kind of getting very sick of people contacting me, DMing me, or whatever, telling me everything Damien's doing.
Then tell them to shut the fuck up. I know exactly who it is. It's Chode Boy. If you want him to shut the fuck up, just tell him that you don't care. It is not that hard.
Because I sort of don't give a shit. You know what I
It's not sort of. It's either you do or you don't.
mean? But it's also just so fucking annoying. Just
When
the
your
fact
own lab dogs start wearing your patience thin because they keep humping your legs until they climax all over your knee.
that he's so obsessed with me is just
Again, someone referencing you because your dumbass little lap dogs are harassing them constantly is not the same thing as them posting 50 times a day about you. That's not the point, and you know it's not the point. The only reason that Damien's saying anything at all that even parallels to you being mentioned is because of the person that's mentioning him repeatedly to you. Do you not know that? Like, do you not know how to put 2 and 2 together, dumbass?
insane. I should probably file for some sort of restraining order on him.
Again, him saying that your dipshit fans are a bunch of feral dipshits that are craving for attention because mommy and daddy didn't love them is not the same thing as this person trying to cause you harassment or distress.
But I would rather deal with it myself. I mean, last time he was harassing me relentlessly, saying some really fucked up shit about
He
family.
made a handful of jokes about you. That's not the same thing as him saying things about you that are untrue in hopes of getting you fucking lynched. As you've said to other people.
Members and all that sort of thing. It got to a point where I had to ring up his work and tell them what he was doing. I gave
Let me get this straight. it's fine for you to be bothered when someone brings up your family, but when other people that follow you do it to another person, you're gonna sit there and act like you don't care. If you're gonna have this standard, you gotta fucking uphold it unilaterally, or don't even bother upholding it at all. Like, don't be the person that's like, it's okay until it's my family. Well, it shouldn't be okay, period, especially if the people involved have nothing to do with it. The only reason he started making fun of your parents, dipshit, is because you have a constant habit of trying to be up everyone else's ass, bitching about how stupid everyone else makes you look.
Hey, people from his work, his YouTube channels and shit like that. I'm not sure if much came of it, but the thing is,
Well, actually, nothing came of it because everyone, like, it's like me. Everyone that I work with knows what I do on this website and they understand that I did some stupid shit in my past. But the difference is, they also realize that I'm not the kind of person that other people have tried to make me out to be over the years, so they don't believe these assholes at all. All they simply said was, look, just don't do this shit, don't mention what company you work for, and don't do stupid shit that might get you in trouble and drag us anyway, otherwise your ass is gone. And that's the only conversation we needed to have. And that was like the very start of my job almost 6 years ago there. And I imagine it was very similar to what happened with Damien. It was like probably like a 5 minute long conversation. It's like, yeah, I said this about this person for these reasons, and then that's it. Like, you're harassing a person's workplace, going all SJW to try to get them fired. It's not a good look, dude. It makes you look like a total bitch. Because you're not trying to get someone taken down for doing things that are actually criminal or dangerous to you. You're trying to get someone removed from their job because they hurt your feelings on the internet. Because, every big, strong, confident man does that whenever someone makes them look like a total pussy. Alright, back in we go.
is Damien, he's on thin ice. It's only a 3.5 hour flight from Melbourne to Wellington.
What are you gonna do? Travel to where he lives and bitch and moan about him calling you dumb online? He didn't threaten you. He didn't say anything that would implicate that you would be in danger or be in any real serious threat. It's more like, hey, look at this greasy fucking retard who's constantly screaming at people over dumb shit that he provokes. Yeah, it's not really going to be something that's going to warrant termination of someone's employment. It's like, well, you're not mentioning where you work, you're not mentioning what you do, really, so we have no stake in this fight, so therefore have at it, provided you don't mention where you work or whatever. That's the way my company looks at it. Provided you don't have, like, a severely horrendous criminal record, obviously.
And it's only about a 1 hour drive from Wellington Airport to where you work, Damien.
So I'm gonna go over to where you work and harass you because you called me a greasy retard online. Because that's how a grown man handles being called fucking names. You'll see, Damien. You'll see. I'll punish you. I'm gonna do what every retard does when they get their feelings hurt and try to destroy your livelihood and your ability to financially support yourself because you hurt my feelings, Damien. You hurt my feelings, Damien. My retards tell me that you called me stupid and that you constantly make fun of me for being a fucking moron that looks for negative attention from attacking the disabled or the terminally online for attention. But you're the asshole and not me. Fuck yourself with a knife.
I could be there today. So,
And what's that gonna result in you just getting, like, ejected from the fucking location and being told to fuck off? Like, what's gonna happen if you go to his job and you just get jumped by his coworkers because realistically they have nothing to lose in that fight if they just whoop your ass for you harassing one of their coworkers? I mean, I don't see that going your way in any fucking direction. Like, all I see is it just going down, 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 down. Like, I just see it going, like, straight up Konami code on your ass and just fucking you up constantly.
Damien, I highly recommend you shut the fuck up.
Are you gonna fucking cry about it, you fucking pussy? You get called names online. Everyone gets insulted on the goddamn internet. Like, I can't imagine being almost 30 years of age and you need to fucking threaten to go harass someone at their place of employment because you're a whiny bitch. Grow the fuck up, you sackless cunt. Seriously, how does it feel to be like the only mammal on the planet that lacks vertebrae? Well,
and
other than being a congressman.
move on with something else because I'm not putting up with your bullshit. Stop doxing me in your YouTube videos or your
It's not really doxing if you are so fucking stupid that you attach your name to all of the social media accounts that you linked to your previous YouTube channels because you're such a goddamn retard. You linked your personals to all your stuff that you use for content creation. That's all on you.
community posts. Stop mentioning me at all. And I don't
Or
plan
what? Are you gonna whine about it?
on mentioning you because I don't give a fuck about you. I'm
Then
only
why even make this video? The only reason that Damien's mentioning you in passing even is because your little pack of retards are bothering him in your name, dumbass. Do you not realize that? Or is that the part of the picture book that you're just not connecting to the other ones? Seriously, is your brain so devoid of the capacity to think critically that you don't realize that your own lap dogs are basically they're working you like a fucking marionette? They are getting you to bitch about Damien because they're telling you what Damien's saying about them, and Damien is bringing you up in passing because you are the one that's more or less led them to Damien. It's a Ouroboros of dumb shit that you more or less create and perpetuate because you don't know when to tell the person in the middle, i.e. Chode Boy, to shut the fuck up and you want nothing to do with his stupid shit. I think the only reason you won't just tell him to shut the fuck up and stop talking to you about Damien is because you like someone sucking your dick. Even if it means they have to actively tell you only shit that you don't want to hear in hopes of provoking more bullshit between you and Damo. And for some reason your brain dead ass doesn't get that. Seriously, do you just not know how to connect A, B, and C?
only making this video because it's just blown up again. Like, what the fuck?
It's
And
blown up because the person in question, i.e. Chode Boy, keeps making it a problem for you because he's making himself a problem for others. And because he follows you, and because he constantly mentions you and uses you as a sort of indus victora to basically bitch and cry about dumb shit, antagonize people, like that's the only reason you come up is because he's basically doing shit in your name, and due to how you do not condemn him for his actions or tell him to shut his fucking yap, it looks like you condone it because you're not condemning it. I don't agree with that line of reasoning to that degree, but at the same time, you do bear some responsibility when the person in question's starting shit for attention, and then running back to you when the shit they start ends up blowing up in their face, hoping you'll defend them, because they keep bullshitting about what people are saying about you in response. Like I said, he's playing you like a fucking fiddle. You're literally being played by a retard who knows he's fucking with you and he is well aware he can use you as a weapon whenever he wants. That's what it is. Codebreaker is literally trying to wield you like a fucking club to get back at Damien because Damien and I and other people said shit that hurt his feelings. And you're falling for it every fucking time.
because my close friends on YouTube are constantly telling me about what's
If
going
your close friends are so fucking retarded and brain dead and fucking psychotic that they gotta stalk people and dig into aspects of their personal lives for attention because they want to get some cheap gotcha on somebody, you need to make some friends that aren't out of their fucking minds. I mean, no bullshit. Let me be very fucking real with you here. Like, if I had friends that did what Codebreaker did, where they were just autistically stalking people and digging up personal information about them from every fucking direction, about people that might not even be related to them because they share a last name, I would want to get that person the fuck out of my immediate circle. Permanently. Because if they do something fucked up and it goes sideways, I don't want to be there when the blast radius comes. Because that's going to be the kind of shit that's going to blow up in his face and it's going to Hiroshima anyone immediately caught next to him. And even if you yourself don't have anything to do with that, you should still be aware of that and think about that instead of being so fucking mindless about it that you just sit there and suck him off and tell him that every dumb thing he does is brilliant. It's kind of sad that the only friends you have are apparently so brain dead and devoid of hobbies or life activities that they stalk people for attention, but here we are.
on. The thing is, Damien does this tough guy facade on the internet, right? But yet
Would you like people to drop kick you in the chest for real?
He still sleeps with teddy bears.
It's possible that those might have some sort of. Let's see, what's the word? Let's see, have some sort of sentimental value, excuse me. Some of those might be things that he has from people that are no longer here. There are a few things that I still have that I've outgrown, but I have them because they are from people who are no longer with us. And that's why I cherish them, is because some of these were like the last gifts I got from people who are no longer among the living. For example, I have a Tales of Horror book that contains only a handful of Lovecraft stories. However, despite owning all of Lovecraft's work in a hardcover volume all in one, I have not gotten rid of the other one because it was a gift from someone who's no longer with us. And I suspect the teddy bear thing might be very similar to that.
He has to give his teddy bears a hug every night.
At least he has something to hug instead of beating his meat furiously to the thought of screaming at a 17-year-old girl.
I mean, as you can see in this photo, he's got teddy bears on his bed still. I
Can you
think,
still. Okay, you said that twice. Can we skip to the next scene?
Damien just. He can't find anything in his life to take up some of his time, you know.
This is coming from the person whose number one fan is an incredibly obsessed autistic stalker who spent 17 hours one day tagging me repeatedly in stupid bullshit, bringing up things from my personal life that are none of their fucking concern, in hopes of trying to upset me, but the reality is all it did was show me that they wasted too much time trying to dig up information that's either completely untrue or way, way outdated compared to everything going on around me. I mean, the motherfucker literally brought up an ex-girlfriend of mine from like a decade ago as a way to try to get under my fucking skin. It's like, dude, don't bother this fucking person. Leave them alone. They didn't do shit. They're not involved. Honestly, I'm surprised that Chode Boy hasn't tried to locate Kate's personals, considering how fucking nuts he is. But I think the only reason he doesn't is because he knows that if I find out who he is, I could link his identity to the account and probably find a way to deal with him myself. I wouldn't hurt him, obviously, but I would definitely make fun of him. Definitely roast the fact that he's so fucking brain dead and devoid of reason that he literally has to do things that would be considered stalking under any circumstance to feel like he has some level of importance or value on this planet instead of trying to do things that are genuinely enjoyable for himself instead of being a brain dead fucking stalker who pretends he's trolling.
I reckon Damien is constantly accusing me of being gay because, like, here's the thing.
Again, making jokes at your expense is not the same thing as a serious accusation. Just like when I made the joke about you being tempted with the kids running around, it was a joke. I said it was a joke multiple times. I explained that I was fucking kidding multiple times in those videos, mind you. And you just didn't listen. So it's safe to assume that if someone says, I'm kidding, I'm just doing this to be satirical and sarcastic towards you, you're not going to listen to them anyway, so there's no point trying to explain it, because it's like trying to explain the punchline of a joke to a fucking retard.
I think he is gay himself.
No you? Thought we got past the no you shit in elementary school, but apparently not.
If you look through his whole YouTube career, there's no signs that he's ever had a woman in his life.
Neither is there of yours, you illiterate fuckwit. Like, what do you want, dipshit? Do you want him to like film himself walking out of his house with a roll of condoms, and then coming back to his house with an empty roll of condoms and a bunch of phone numbers scrawled on his forearm and lipstick? Like, would that be enough to convince you?
Damien cannot drive because he has epileptic seizures.
Yeah, but that's triggered by genetics. That's not really something that's a chosen thing. Let's see. You realize that that's more for his own safety and the safety of other people, right? So that he doesn't have one and die, or have one behind the wheel and like run someone else over, or die in a crash and hit someone else. Again, you're basically just saying that because that are outside of someone's control, it means that they are inherently blah da da da.
So that makes it hard for him to get around.
Not really. There are buses all over New Zealand as well as trains. What the fuck you talking about? And you also have legs. It's not like he's fucking paralyzed from the neck down.
He could Uber or do that sort of thing.
So you acknowledge that Ubers exist.
It's not that hard.
So if you acknowledge that it's not that hard, then what are you talking about? You just shot your own point in the foot.
But the thing is, he claims to be straight edge, which means he doesn't drink.
Well, some people choose not to drink because they don't like the taste of alcohol. They don't like the idea of drinking, not to mention it only damages your liver. Let's be honest. I haven't had a drop of alcohol in like 4 years, and the reason I haven't, it's not because, well, I drank too much, I need to quit. It's more like I just don't have a taste for it. Like, the only time I used to drink is during social occasions or when I was like really, really stressed, but due to how my life is, it's relatively okay for the most part, so I don't really feel the necessity to drink out of stress. I don't feel the necessity to really drink at social events because usually I'm the one driving. And I don't want to be driving under the influence because that's a big ass ticket. And honestly, I don't feel like taking that chance with other people in the car with me, or just in general, because I don't want my car insurance company to break my fucking legs. Because I think my car insurance agent is the kind of motherfucker that would break your legs if you become like a high risk client.
So it's not like he can go out, have a few beers at the pub.
Maybe not, but you can still have meals with people and have conversations. You can still go to the coffee shop and have conversations with people. Do you think people only socialize when they're getting buzzed?
Or anything like that. For some reason, he won't do that.
Maybe people just don't like the taste of alcohol. They just don't get a taste for it. And some people that have like predispositions towards addiction, for example, they may choose to avoid it because they understand that it runs in their family and they may want to avoid it.
And he probably needs to do that. You know, he needs to chill out, have a beer or something like that.
You do realize though that having a beer might not make you chill out because everyone's reaction is different. Not to mention the fact that someone with epilepsy, they may be more prone to having a seizure if they have a beer because alcohol is a depressant. It triggers that pattern in the brain that causes your emotional state to become elevated. And someone with ASD and epilepsy, it might not be a good combination to have alcohol in your system while you also have ASD and epilepsy. Like that trifecta might not be a great combination. Like I don't know, it just doesn't sound like a wise decision to make with all three of those factors contributing to it.
That it seems to me that all that Damien does, other than go to work, I think he goes to work, does his 8 hours, comes home, talks shit on the internet, maybe plays some video games, obsesses over his Transformers. That's a
Transformers are still cooler than your AFL video games, cocksucker.
baby show or whatever. Goes to bed and does it all again. That is a
At
pretty
least he has a routine.
sad life, to be honest.
Have you seen yourself lately, you greasy fuck? You literally exist to be a whiny. You exist to be a whiny, dribbling little shit that literally has a pack of dipshits that follow you around, sucking you off and telling you every dumbass little thing you want to hear. The same people, mind you, that are telling you shit about Damien, hoping to get you to go after them and go back and forth because they're working you like a fucking puppet. And it's hilarious to me that you don't know that. It's obvious what he's fucking doing.
Like, I'd find that pretty sad. I mean, he lives in a shithole place.
Dude, you literally can't even afford your own place to live in by yourself. Speaking as someone who also doesn't have the kind of financial security to move into their own place, I get it. But the difference is, at least my room and my living environment's decorated with shit that I like. Your room literally looks like what would happen if someone moved into a console flat and they just had the bare minimum of the amenities covered and they just got like a fold out lawn chair to sit in. It almost looks like a crack den with a TV in it.
I mean, there's not much to do in New Zealand. There's no good sports there.
There's no good sports in Australia either. Surfing doesn't count.
Like, here in Melbourne, I can go to the footy every week, at least
You mean soccer?
during the season. There's a lot of good pubs here. There's casinos.
I
So
don't think you should be allowed to gamble considering your luck is relatively shit if you look at your genetics.
my life isn't just going to work, PlayStation, and YouTube all the time. I go out, drink some beers, go to the
Do you read? Do you do anything else? I mean, there are so many books in the world that you could read a shitload of stuff. I mean, right now I'm almost a quarter of the way through H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. And then after that, I gotta read 1984, Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again, Battle Royale, Fahrenheit 451. Check what else I got here. Oh yeah, Irish Ghost Stories, Algernon Blackwood's Complete Anthology, and Ramina by Junji Ito, as well as reading Yo by Junji Ito and several other works that I got sitting on my desk. Like I have like a 9 to 10 fucking stack high of books that I want to read in the next 4 weeks because I'm 6 weeks off work until I'm done healing from my surgery. And it's like, well, you're lazy. No, I can't lift anything over 20 pounds until I'm done healing. Otherwise, I risk ripping my fucking stitches open. And I'm not taking that chance after having to put up with that much bullshit just to get to the goddamn surgery. But nevertheless, I'm not trying to fault you for having things you like to do. But I'm saying that you could easily diversify what you do and do a lot more with your time, but you're not doing that. You have like 2, 3 things at most that you do, and you're trying to lecture Damien for also having a couple things that he does. You're really no better. In fact, the shit you do is a lot more childish and fucking sophomorean bullshit than everyone else in the room. Like, someone having a collection of shit they like should not be a bad thing, provided the shit they like is legal. You literally are sitting there with trophy after trophy after trophy of a sport no one gives two shits about, and you're trying to lecture someone about liking Transformers. Like, do you not realize the hypocrisy and irony of that? Because let's be honest, when you buy something for yourself and you pay for it yourself, it's the same feeling. Like, you feel like you won that moment. Just like when you get an award in your shitty little sport.
Footy, that sort of thing. So I can understand why Damien has been obsessed with me for so long, because his life is so, so sad. He also obsesses over other people such as Dustin Nunn, Undertaker Freak, and all these other randoms.
Well, here's the thing. If someone acts like a total asshole to you over and over and over again, that's not you harassing or being obsessed when you're responding to shit they said specifically about you. Again, we're basically just going with the logic of it's okay for you to cry about as many people as you want, as many times as you want, but if someone says something about someone over X amount of times, you act like the people are obsessed. No. A lot of the times it's back and forth clapback between two people because one of them doesn't know when to shut their fucking mouth when they make a fool of themselves and they keep begging for more bullshit. You're a prime example of this.
But anyway, if you guys want to know what I'm going to do about this situation, I plan on ignoring Damien.
Then just do that. You didn't even need to make this fucking video. You could have just told Codeboy to shut the fuck up and say you want nothing to do with it. And tell him that if he wants to fight his little one retard crusade against Damien and everyone else around him, he can do it his goddamn self. You could have just done that and saved everyone like 30 minutes worth of stupid shit.
Skyfire from now on. But if he does do anything else really fucked up, then I will have to step things up a bit. But yeah,
And
so
do what? Cry to his district manager? Okay, Karen.
thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment like this.
I'd sooner put my fucking bare nutsack through a knot in a fence and have someone hit me in the dick with a sledgehammer. Seriously. I would much rather have someone smash my bare scrotum with a meat tenderizer and drag my raw, reddened nutsack across a hot tarmac covered in razor blades and broken glass than subscribe to your shitty, cancerous tumor fucking channel unironically. Watching these videos feels like someone's using that fucking Vietnamese water torture or that Vietnamese bamboo splinter torture to get me to talk. Seriously, this video was a tumor on society's ass, and I feel like you should be crucified for making it.